I'm on a mission to try to cover as much about batteries as I possibly can, right? I've tried different batteries. I've got a lot of experience and I'll continue to do so in the future. But this FranklinWH system is just so good and why I chose it for my house. Now, it hasn't been perfect. The one issue that we had related to the Franklin Home Power integration with my span panel. This was an early software build, and there was a bug that required a technician to come out and fix it. But since that day, it has been flawless. The data between span and Franklin has been perfect, and the batteries have just worked perfectly ever since. And did I mention we've been through a hurricane now? Words I never thought I would say. But yeah, monopolies do suck. But we do have the technology today to give us a fighting chance. Ultimately, it comes down to you and your motivations. Is your goal self-reliance? Is it to save money? Do you live in an off-grid cabin where there is no grid? Well, you're in a golden age of batteries and solar, honestly. It's pretty amazing, and I think we have a lot to look forward to. As I mentioned, I'm about $80,000 into this project, but you don't have to be as gung-ho as I am. You can start small. Get a 3 kilowatt solar system, 1 A-power battery from Franklin, and an A-gate, and you can shave your bills dramatically and always have backup power. Honestly, in 2023 and beyond, in 2024, the thing that's changed is the importance of batteries. All utilities are going to stop crediting you for excess solar generation. So your best bet is to bank that locally in batteries that you can use in the evening. But when it comes to solar and batteries, my advice has always been the same. Going back to one of my first YouTube videos in 2017, start small and never spend more money than you're comfortable with. Get a small system, add on to it, right? I have 11 kilowatts of solar and 40 kilowatt hours of Franklin Home Power energy storage. And maybe in 2024, I'll save up and add to it. Maybe I'll get 1 more battery and 5 more kilowatts of solar. I don't know. But these systems can be added onto, which is what's amazing about them. Researching this video, I was blown away at how different utilities and municipalities are about these things. In fact, there are some places where it is legally required that you stay on grid, meaning they don't just have a monopoly, but you are legally required to be their customer. You couldn't just say bye-bye, don't want you, and disconnect. That is just insane. But ultimately what it comes down to is there's so little control that we have. Our utility goes and tries to get rate hikes every year and seemingly always get their way. I don't know what I could possibly do, but I do know with home batteries and solar, I do have a fighting shot. And thanks to the A-gate having everything feed into it, the data that you get on the dashboard here on the Franklin app is amazing. Look at this. I have my grid usage, the battery usage, the home usage, and solar input. Right now, 2:30 p.m., my solar has already dropped off to almost nothing, 1.3 kilowatt. And that's my problem living where I do in that hill. We lose sunlight very, very early on. And that means this battery is already starting to power my house, and it has to do that until 7 a.m. the next day. And you even have some beautiful visualization of what the battery is doing. I did a little experiment. As you can tell here, these big purple lines are because I told the battery to charge and be ready in the case of a outage to see. And as you can see, it's pulling 15 kilowatt, which is 555, 3 batteries, 5 kilowatts, 15 kilowatts in total. And the solar is kicking on, and you can just see how quickly it tapers off and how the battery is kicking in. So can we run through an entire night? What's really nice is you can really easily see. And let's go take a look. So here is December 10th, okay? And here's how much energy we used from the grid. As you can kind of see here, we made it all the way to about 2 a.m., 1:55 a.m. Then the battery went to that 20% reserve mode, and I ran on the grid until 7:40, at which point I'm guessing the solar generation kicked in. So that's what we're talking about. In the winter, right? We're in December, the shortest days. All I have is about a 5-hour window that I can't power my house. And like we've mentioned, we have a ton of computers and servers and things that run 24 hours a day, which you might not have. But in the summertime, it's much better. We can actually power ourselves all the way through to the next day. Obviously, the one caveat would be storms. So to conclude, get yourself a battery. If you're thinking about getting a really big solar system, I would say consider scaling it back and adding a battery. At this point, it just makes a ton of sense. Plus, if you get solar and you don't have batteries and the power goes out for some period of time, you haven't really accomplished all that much. batteries are just crucial. And I hope that explains why I went with Franklin for my needs. Installation was a breeze. My installer has been telling me that they're very popular lately. A lot of our neighbors are getting them installed. And it makes sense. It's just a great product that I'm really happy with. The build quality and design, the software updates, it just gives me that confidence that this is a company worth investing in. So if you're curious about the Franklin Home Power system and want to learn more, we'll have links in the video's description. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. This mission to be net zero is multifaceted, like insulation in my house to lower heating and cooling costs. I'm also ditching gas appliances like clothes dryers, which I just did. And next up is my gas furnace and my gas water heater. Again, unless I want to be stuck with those sudden surcharges in the dead of winter, this is how I can control those costs. So this journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and I'm just getting started. And if you want to see more, come join us for the ride. All right, until next week, I'm Ricky Da Vinci. Thank you so much for watching.